Today's roadside cemetery attraction video, southwestern Ontario, brings us all the way up to north of London. That's right, we're way off a highway 3 today, folks. We're at the St. Patrick's Parish in Lucan, circa 1854. We'll try and get a zoom in on this information plaque for those of you who love to read these. You won't be able to focus the battery life on that today. Hopefully that's in focus. Hey guys, what's going on today? Random Andrew here. I'm very snowblind Random Andrew because I forgot my sunglasses. Got this guy with me here today. Oh yeah, see, it's not shoveled around here, so I don't know if we can go this way.
Blaze a trail.
But yeah, we came up here to Lucan, Ontario, also known as Biddulph Township, I guess it would be, to check out another old cemetery, but this one has some serious history. Yes, mind the squinting, I'm very snowblind today. It's going to make it very hard to read some stuff. But we're going to check out some of the older graves here. We won't be seeing them all, but there was one very specific one that we came all this way to come and see. We've all heard stories about it, and by the title of the video you probably already know what it is, but I'm still not saying it yet. Never been here before. I've read the stories, I've seen a few movies. I'm guaranteed you've probably heard of it, and that's probably why you're here watching this video today. So let's get on with it. You've heard enough of me. Let's see what's out here. Panning shot with a Craig in the middle. All right. Patrick Ryder. Why am I not seeing a date? 1848. Another Ryder.
Rowdy Ryder.
Roddy. Well, okay, I should actually explain. When you read up a bit of the history on this area, this is and was primarily an Irish immigrants area. So, like, there's a lot. You could walk any direction and find something interesting. Keep in mind, I am snowblind right now. Down here.
Oh my God, I can't see.
1882. And then you've got an actual placard on it. That's kind of cool. Ooh, and yes, it is very, very cold out here today, folks. Yeah, so as I was saying, this is predominantly a Irish immigrant area. A lot of Irish settled here, so you will see a lot of Irish names. Darcy, 1882 as well. O'Shea. Well, we can kind of zigzag our way up.
Okay. Yeah. What OS means? On site.
Yeah, this is a fresh snowfall we're walking on here. 1874. How would you pronounce that? Toohey? Toohey? Toohey.
Hey.
Here's another one. Cecilia. It's all in the earlier 1900s.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's so bright I can't really even see my screen on the back of the camera.
I hope it's going to show up alright on
Oh yeah. It should show up just fine because it takes care of its own lighting in the camera.
Take a shot of that. That's...
Nangle. Oh yeah, we're getting our way over here. Giant cross and tombstone over there.
Oh,
look at the material this one's made out of. Ended up with like almost a tiger striping pattern to it.
Granite.
Keef.
Granite with limestone. Not limestone, quartz.
1868, 1872, 1878. Andrew and Maria Keefe. We got Kelly and Wheelahan. Wow, these are some very Irish names. You can see there is other graves under the snow. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera.
Little square patches.
Yeah. Okay, so
O'Keefe.
O'Keefe and twists. Alright, we'll head up this way a little bit more and cut back across. And this is a fairly good sized cemetery, and as you guys know, I like coming up to the older cemeteries and being able to see some of the older artwork, some of the dates. Craig is blocking the shot. I wasn't kidding when I told you guys, drop him a message in the comments section. He'll see it. Tell him, Craig, get out of the way.
Move, yo.
Is that... I almost want to think it says Thompson. Yeah, it is Thompson. Oh, I could have read it up here. Canesla? 1868 to 1922. Multiple dates on this one too. But imagine 1882. They're all going to be kind of around the same area. The grave we actually came to see is right back here. But we'll get to it. You guys don't worry, we'll get to it.
So it's just all.
Oh yeah, big old turbo diesel going down the highway. That's what you guys are hearing in the background. There he goes. Yes, this St. Patrick is right off of Highway 4, which is actually a very, very well-used highway. I am the resurrection and the life, it says.
That's nice.
Yep.
Should have brought snowshoes.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna let Craig get ahead and out of the way. Ooh, what's this? 1898? I almost thought it said 1808.
That would have been the oldest so far. It was.
McCarran? Is that? John McCarran?
Like what's the oldest so far? 1812?
William Hohen? 1869. Yeah, actually, I haven't seen
1808?
anything that is in the early 1800s yet. Mind you, like, that is where I would start calling. That's where I would start to consider them older graves, you know. But I mean, come on, anything in the 1800s, really? Anything in the early 1900s? James Kelly, 1882. Do you notice how the cross on this one's offset?
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of being straight on with the rest of it, it's offset. And come to think of it, that's mostly facing the east. This is facing Ireland. This cross is facing Ireland. 1884.
Coffee. So you get your Canadian coffee.
Yeah, it's coffee. I'm trying to see the year. 1835. Oh, I didn't even notice this one on the way up. James Cain. Said on the back, Cain.
Looks like it may
Michael
have
Caine.
At one point it had an obelisk on it.
Yeah. Some kind of taller piece like these. Okay, oh, we'll get a little further into this here. Ooh, time to switch hands. That hand's a little frozen. I have no gloves on, folks. No, that's okay. Wear gloves when you come out to do this kind of thing. Well, I see a couple older ones down here that I don't want to miss, but I also see a couple older ones here, so we'll come back here first. $18.99. Colson.
Snowshoe.
Oh yes, I just found a snowdrift. Okay. You can kind of make out the date on there, 18-something-9. Oh, a crown and a cross. I have not seen that one just yet. 1881. check these older ones out here, and then we'll move up to where Craig is. There's a couple of angels praying to the cross. 1869 for William Hogan. That's what that was. It probably wasn't Hohen that I seen. It was Hogan. I just wasn't seeing the G properly. Mick Ilargi? Yeah, Mick Ilargi, I think. Anne Sweeney. Somebody had made a comment on one of my previous videos about how coming here, seeing the graves, reading the names and the dates, it's like kind of keeping them alive that little bit longer.
I just noticed that this cross here,
Morgan.
it's the same motif. The same kind of...
Yeah, well, whoever made the headstones, and actually, somebody was asking me if I had seen, basically, the person who had carved these, or who made the headstones, like they'd sign it somewhere, right?
Yep.
And I don't know, but it says, I can read out kind of something, Mitij Logan, and it doesn't look like it's the same inscription as the same part of that inscription, so maybe that's possible. But she pointed one out on one that she had seen, and there are actually a whole bunch of different famous headstone makers, so you could start to recognize the names. Oh wow, Martin. That's about all I can read of this one is Martin. James Blake. What do you think?
I think I know a James Blake. Or I knew him.
Well, we've been out here for 11 minutes so far. I know because of how cold it is, the battery's going to start flashing anytime.
And it's pretty chilly.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly. So we'll get making our way to the main feature that we came here to see today. Yep.
Morgan.
Yeah, another Morgan. A lot of families.
A lot of Morgan.
Well, see, we seen Ryder earlier, and there's Margaret Ryder on the Morgan headstone.
This whole row is all Morgan.
Yeah, and Kelly. That is something I bet if you were to actually mentally note half the names that you see, you'll see which family members married into other families.
Yeah.
Like what was on that Morgan one back there. Okay. Alright, we're heading back this way. I see some Dewans.
Are you going right back?
Yeah. I want to make sure that we don't end up missing it because of lack of battery power. Wow, there is actually some nice ones over here too. Yeah. Doyle. Excuse me, Craig. Excuse me, Craig.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, wow. What do you suppose that one is? Our charity pray for those repose of the soul of P.J. Dewan, late president of CMBA. Says this all right here. August 19th, 1891. As we have loved him in life, let us not forget him in death. Requiescat in peace.
CMB?
Yeah,
or
I'm not
DA?
sure what the B.
Okay.
B as in Bobby. Bobby.
Oh, yeah, B.
Okay. Yes, we're actually down to half a battery here, so I just want to show you guys these ones real quick. And then, yes, I promise we are going over to the main one. I saw this broken one over here, and I had to come have a look. 1867, and you can't really read it. Dang. Okay. Alright, we better get right back and over here. And here it is. Long last, I finally get to come pay my respects to the Donnelly family. If you guys don't know the story of the Donnellys, I really recommend you check it out. There are several different versions to the story. Do some research, find the truest account, and learn the tale of how this family ended up here. And there used to be a much, much larger tombstone that would have stood twice the height of this one here. I mean, it was big. But because of how this occurrence came to be, the original one was vandalized. It was a terrible thing. A lot of harassment. A lot of harassment. I really don't want to even start to get on it because I don't want you guys jumping on me because I got something wrong. There's a lot of experts out there on the Donnelly family, and maybe I can pull up a Wikipedia and give a nice voiceover, and we'll share a little bit more of the story. I just can't do right here on the spot because my phone was shut off. I'm half snowblind. I won't be able to read my phone right now anyways. So I'm going to take some nice looking footage and then we'll sync it up with a voiceover. I'll do my best. If it doesn't happen, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it will. The massacre of the Donnelly family in the township of Biddulph by an armed mob is a crime which has no parallel in the history of Canada, proclaimed by the Listowel newspaper in February 1880. The notorious Donnellys emigrated from Ireland in the 1840s with the hope of finding success in what would later become Canada. James and Johanna became squatters who eventually settled on contested land near London, Ontario. Before long, conflict characterized the relationship with many of their neighbors and the community as a whole. The feud escalated in 1857 when James Sr. killed Patrick Farrell, a man involved in dispute over the land the Donnelly clan had illegally called home. While James spent time at the Kingston Penitentiary for the crime, his 7 sons grew into manhood. They eventually earned a sullied reputation of their own. Accused of many of crimes including arson and assault, the Donnelly name became synonymous with trouble. The Donnellys and their children, James Jr., William, John, Patrick, Michael, Robert, Thomas, and Jenny, were always ready and willing to go to battle, whether it was over the stagecoach line or a young woman. Not surprisingly, then, some residents of Lucan and Biddulph Township held the Donnellys responsible for almost every ill that befell the community. One day, James Donnelly complained to a local magistrate, "We are blamed for everything." The next day, he was dead. On February 4th, 1880, the Donnelly farm was burned to the ground. The bodies of James, his beloved Johanna, son Tom, and niece Bridget were in the ashes, the victims of a cruel and vicious mob. Another son lay dead in a separate murder the same night. To this day, despite a great deal of evidence, including an eyewitness, no one has been found guilty of the crime. Many had no doubt who done it, but in 2 trials, the jury would never deliver a guilty verdict. Well, there you guys go. The Donnelly grave, like I said. There is a replica, actually. I didn't say this. There's a replica at a museum. We're going to look further into that and maybe see about going and doing a tour of the museum that tells a little bit more about the life and times. I have to save some battery because there's one more place we're going in respects to the Donnelly family. I just want to read this one. Little quote: "Farewell, we meet no more on this side of heaven. The heartfelt parting scene is over. The last sad look is given." Rest peacefully, Donnellys. We're gonna go up Roman line here. I don't know what I can see because I am still quite snowblind. Like I can't open my eyes all the way. And what remains of the Donnelly farm is still there, the property. So anything we would see on there, I think, has all just been rebuilt, but it is still their property. We're gonna go have a look and we'll close the vlog out down there. So this is a property directly adjacent to the east of what I seen marked as the Donnelly homestead. This was a property at one point in time too. There's a long time since there's been a house here, but you can still see the property, the fence around the property line. I just thought I'd throw this in for the hell of it. And Craig has to do windshield wiper fluid. You guys will have to bear with me in the wind situation here. But this property right here that I'm about to walk past was actually, and look at that, the wind's just gone, just like that. This was the Donnelly property. This was where they some time ago, settled. And now for a long time, they were doing tours here, and if you look on Google Maps, there's actually a sign stating that this was the Donnelly's property. And like I said before, the house, actual homestead, was burned down by the townspeople. It was burned to the ground after the incident. Got a bit of wind again, and I do see an information sign that I am going to come up and have a look at. I thank Mr. Saltz. I read online that he was the guy who was actually maintaining the museum and property. The early morning of February 4th. Oh, hang on, let me try this again. The early morning of February 4th, 1880 will forever be remembered in Canadian history as one of our darkest days. Before daylight on the morning of February 4th, 1880, 5 members of the Donnelly clan, James, his wife Joanna, their niece Bridget, and a son Tom, were slain, and their house set aflame, allegedly by 30-member strong vigilante community or peace society, whose supposed purpose was to put down crime in township. After setting the house aflame, the group continued on to Whaling Corners to the home of William Donnelly, where they mistook John Donnelly for his brother William and shot him dead. Within days of this tragedy, word spread across every newspaper in Canada and the US, and the township was beset by policemen and reporters. After 2 trials, accused ringleaders of this vigilante community were found not guilty and set free due to the fact that no one in the township would talk about the incident and maintained a strict silence. The Donnelly homestead, ladies and gentlemen. That's quite the nice property too. And yes, my eyes are watering. Not tears. I just had cold wind blowing in my face trying to read that. Look at that. They even have the dual row of pine or cedar going up here. It was a nice property. And they had a nice dream when they came here. But that's it for me. That's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I really do encourage you to go and look and research, find out the true story of the Donnelly family and what occurred before that cold morning of February 4th. By the way, this we're coming up on February right now, so I probably won't hold the video until February 4th, but I almost want to, just to commemorate. So again, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, share the heck out of the videos, click that like button, and we'll see you guys again real soon. Have a good one.